All right, well, good evening, everybody. This is Electrical Essence, and I wanted to do an official introduction into my podcast show and go into a little bit more detail on who I am and my journey down this road into a new realm of electronics, and I guess you can say kind of upgrading from writing to speaking, because now this seems like this is the new way of blogging, and it does save a lot of time, especially if you're a perfectionist writer like I am. Um, I am here tonight with Triple C, who is also known as my daughter, and she's co-hosting, but she's more like just chilling more than anything. So I wanted to get into detail about just different things I'm going to be discussing, and I also want to kind of go into a little more detail about who I am, and I'd like to start with I am probably one of the biggest astrology freaks that any of you already know or that you will know. It's been my life for a very long time. Um, and I also, dabble into other things. I have a vast list of topics that I will be discussing. And I have a lot of different people that will be co-hosting with me, kind of trading them out. And I will be doing some personal blogging and sharing, and um, also to possibly get some live ones out there, some live podcasting, and do some live shows. But I just really wanted to get this one out and just make it a little bit more formal, because I did post my very first episode, which was kind of a little bit insane and a little bit out there, but I figured, why not, go big or go home. And that was quite fun, getting drunk and just going, just talking about it, not even worrying about it, no filter. So if you have any children, I would recommend, if you do not let them listen to this podcast, because I have a very, very dirty mouth. I cuss more than a sailor, and I probably say things that are not friendly to children's ears. So going back to my whole journey down this road, I had started a newsletter back in about 2009, 2010, and I got a couple issues into it before I had to put it on the back burner, and started on some other projects and moved out of state, and it was just something that had just sat for so long. And then when I had decided to revamp it and to basically breathe some life back into it, I had an idea of doing something a little bit different. Instead of doing a newsletter, maybe something in a magazine form or something more in a book form, because now that you can do self-publishing and everything. And then the whole YouTube channel thing, that's been kind of blowing up lately, and that's actually something that I've been wanting to do for a couple of years now. But I never realized how shy but not shy that I am, and I think a lot of it's just like a vanity thing, and also just like, oh my God, I can't believe I look like that on film, or I can't believe I look like that on camera. It's almost like having to get used to the sound of your voice, and that took me a moment too, when I was first kind of dabbling around, and got the system downloaded and got a microphone and all that, and did some recordings. And hearing your own voice is definitely different. Thank God it's not too bad, but it's tolerable. But so with the newsletter, my newsletter is Waterbury Inc.'s Age of Aquarius, and it's not just a astrology-based newsletter. It was a newsletter that was supposed to touch on different topics, and it was supposed to be very open and allow other writers and artists to be able to express who they were, or express things they wanted to talk about, or express things that they were passionate about. Again, like basically like what the podcast is about. So, and then when I kind of decided, instead of doing a YouTube channel, which I will eventually get to that, and I do have some stuff on a couple of my different channels, nothing big though, just little commercial type things, kind of announcing my side home business, and then with my newsletter. I do have my own business, which it's always a work in progress when you're building something from the ground up. But I have recently had to think of a different name for my business, which I'm going to have to go in and change it and do all the paperwork for it. I didn't realize how popular the word mystical and mystics were, and I just wanted something that was different and unique. And I didn't really want to use the name Unique Vibrations. The name of my business is Mystical Vibrations, and I don't know, it was just something that kind of came at me at the time because I was dealing a lot with astrology and tarot and mystical stuff and occult stuff, and um, now I just see it everywhere. And so, so then when I decided to do the podcasting, I just had to do something that was just something tweaked a little bit different. And then I had to go on my other YouTube channel because I have my personal YouTube channel, which is under Electrical Essence, or no, I'm sorry, it's Aquarian Essence, and my other channel is it was originally My Vibrations, and it was for the Mystical Vibrations Consulting, but I've changed it to Unique Vibration. And then I have a third one, which is actually linked to the newsletter, but now that I'm kind of smashing them all together, I can not worry about that third one because juggling three of them is kind of hard. So, so with my YouTube channel, I will eventually start slowly working on that, maybe sharing some of my podcasting on there. But I wanted to get this built up. I actually did contemplate on doing like a radio show, like where I can actually play music and and then put in my little segments and stuff. But that was a lot of work, and it was very tedious. Not as tedious though as building a website, which I have started, and I haven't made it active yet for my business. I've decided just to wipe the board clean and just do it all fresh and different. So my main focus right now though is the podcasting. I do a lot of other artistical types things. I can't draw for crap, but I can definitely, click around on that mouse and do some, online designing and working with pictures and everything. I've been able to do that for some years. So I do other things on top of astrology and numerology, and I also love anything that has to do with Wicca and anything that has to do with like I guess occult type stuff. I would joke and tell my kids that I'm a witch, but that's not really what I would go with because I really don't do the whole witchy Wicca spells type thing. I'm more into just using techniques to clear energy and to settle and to, just kind of be able to have a nice flow. And part of the reasons for me wanting to get, back into writing and sharing things with everybody was actually I call it the journey down the rabbit hole. It's been actually quite an interesting year, and with my YouTube channel, I wanted to share my experience. I wanted to share my story and also to other stories of other people that kind of links in with mine because this wasn't a journey that I've done alone. I mean, most of it, and I am doing most of it alone, but I have amazing people in my life, and I have some amazing friends, and that have, that's been with me, and that's helped me along the way, and we've helped each other, and there's been definitely a lot of growth, though, with certain people in my life, and some of them, I'm going to bring on, and we're going to discuss different things, but I've had a very interesting year, especially when I decided to really get balls deep back into astrology. Last year, I just decided, that it's my passion. I love it. There's so much more of it I need to learn. I've been studying it pretty much my whole entire life. I mean, I've basically been studying it and researching it since my early teens, but it piqued my interest when I was a little girl, about 5 or 6 years old, which is my dad's fault. He had gotten me and my sister Kiana Garfield nightgown shirt things, and it had, the Garfield on there, and then at the bottom it had her Sid Virgo and mine Sid Aquarius, and I noticed that, and I asked him what it was, and he gave me some vague description or whatever, but it was just enough to like just put that spark in me. And one thing that I learned right away with astrology was I was able to retain it. I was able to retain it in a way like I could remember it better than my own name. So, and how I went about doing astrology was very unique and in my own, I guess my own way, and my own techniques and everything. So, and I will, I'll share that too as well. But so me getting back into astrology, it seemed like it opened up parts of the world and parts of myself and parts of my life that were either shadow or just weren't illuminating. And so I would say about a good month into it, about a month into it, couple months we just moved. It was a couple months after we just moved into, yanked into our new home, um, and I like to, I like to stay up late. I'm a complete nocturnal person. I love, the night, and I function better, and I think better, and I flow better at night, and I'm just a complete, just raggy bitch, like in the morning time. Like if I have to get up in the morning, I'm not fun to be around, like at all. Like you want to light me on fire. So I, take advantage of the quiet nights whenever my boyfriend would go to work, and I could be at home and study and just do a lot of researching and then I started noticing and sensing some very weird things in the house, and at first, I was like, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just my imagination running away from me, and so finally when I kind of thought, okay, maybe this is something, and I eventually was like, okay, crazy or not, I gotta say something. So I think Cece was the first person I talked to about, and she was kind of experiencing and noticing some weird shit around the house too. And then I waited a little bit, and then I was like, okay. So Shane would understand. He would definitely understand on a deep level, considering that he's very open-minded and he's very educated on so many different topics and so many different things, and his father has introduced him to so much that just his knowledge of stuff is just so vast. Like that's one of the things I love most about him is his mind. So I thought, I'll talk to him about it. I just knew that it would eventually be okay. At first I was a little scared and worried about it, but I thought, okay, well if he thinks I'm crazy, then I'm fucking crazy. Then, what he thinks of me, that's we'll deal with that later. So I had told him about how I was hearing people talking, but it was like through like a radio type vibration, or through like a newscast, or like how sometimes it would sound like somebody was watching a football game in another room, and you can hear the people up in the balconies, or what do you call them, Cece? The guys that are like that, the announcers. Yeah, you can hear the announcers talking, but at a distance. And I thought, at first I thought maybe it was the neighbors, but I thought, no, we're far enough from our neighbors to where if their TV's that freaking loud, I mean, maybe they don't need like a 100-inch freaking TV and have it up that loud for everybody in the freaking neighborhood could listen along with them. So I knew it wasn't the neighbors, and none of the other TVs around the house. I don't have a TV in my living room. I remember one of the few times I heard it, Shane was in there sleeping, because he sleeps during the day and works at night. He sleeps with the TV off. So I knew it wasn't coming from that room. Cece wasn't home, and a lot of times when she was home, she didn't watch TV. And then Luxana wasn't home, so the TV wasn't on in there. And so I thought, okay, maybe I'm picking up on some radio links, or maybe like a wave, like just something, because there's usually a reason for everything, especially when it's something kind of creepy and, kind of like when you hear the sound from the refrigerator and you freak out and then you realize 2 seconds later it's a refrigerator. So that was the first thing. And the second was, sometimes I'd hear words like actual, like not somebody necessarily talking to me, but like I was on Facebook and I was messaging with my best friend Johanna, and I was typing, and then it like kind of like had like this brain sort, like I just kind of couldn't think of the word, and I mean it was there, I just couldn't like get it out, and something just kind of just said it in my ear, and I was just like, and that was it. I was done. I was like, okay, that's it. And I even joked up. I was like, yep, that's it. I'm done. Just that's it. That confirmed it for me right there that there was definitely something going on. So I had, told Shane about, what I had experienced, and he said that he had experienced something similar where he heard talking, and he thought it was me and Cece being loud because, we're two loud black girls who don't have volume buttons because they were busted off years ago. He said that he heard loud talking and he couldn't sleep and it was irritating him, and so he went out to go basically tell us to shut the fuck up, and he goes out there and we're not even home. So he's like, okay. So, and Cece had, what was the beeping for you at first, wasn't it?
Yeah, I heard like, what was it? Like just beeping. Just beep, beep, beep. Like a UFO. Like it was legitimately like a
it,
UFO.
it probably was aliens. It probably came in and said nope. And
Why are they still there?
like, bitches are too big for the UFO. They'll weigh it down. We won't even reel me.
It'll be like this.
Won't be able to hit any type of Mach speed because of our fat asses in there.
No one had to take up like a. Okay, maybe now.
Yeah, I have to get help from the mothership just to beam us up onto the little ship to get to the big ship.
It needs like 10 motherships.
So okay, the beeping, and then there was something else. I know that that one night we had that big storm when me and Shane were in Vermont at the hospital. Like you guys were in here kind of creeped out. Oh, I know there was something else. I do know, like after Wyatt came, you guys kept talking about the shadow.
Oh my god, he brought that up. He's like, yeah, I can't leave the door open because something pierces over the door frame. I'm like, nope.
See, and I thought he was just being, just a retarded boy, just being a retarded kid. But that was okay. So we first experienced this about July, August, and things kind of settled down. But I do know during that time we were having a really crazy Neptune transit because Neptune had just gone into the sign of Pisces, and I know it was having some really crazy hard like aspects and just really resonating, and I had never.
The beeping was like a dial tone. Like, it was like that. It
was probably aliens trying to sneak out of here. One of the radios were going off.
They were probably like, "Oh shit, she hears us."
So it had it been? Oh god, I want to say I know it was before Cassie came for the holidays, but
it was July
well, it was July when we first started noticing because I know that when I finally did say something to you, and then when I said something to Shane, I remember I was at the computer, and I could just feel something. And it was in my doorway, and I thought, it's just me, just my mind running away.
What was it? When we lived in Vermont, I used to think that something used to just like pierce like above me and just sit behind me and watch me. Now I don't anymore.
Oh, good. I'm glad it stayed there. So, and then I just kept feeling a presence. And then when finally I was talking with you guys about it, you guys said that's when you brought up the bathroom. No, I remember. No, yeah, Cassie was. You guys brought about the bathroom. You said you always close the bathroom door because of the because you said there was like peeking through the door, and then Wyatt said something about you guys closed the bedroom door because of peeping over the frame, and and I remember after you guys had moved down and I moved in here, I turned like the third bedroom into kind of like my room, my meditation, astrology, spiritual, hiding from fucking Shane, need alone time room, my chill room. It's my fortress of solitude. So I remember when I first started staying in here, and it wasn't so much in the other room, it was this room. I would notice, I would feel like something was in here with me, and it would just literally wake me up out of sleep, and it would just freak me the fuck out. I'd be laying here, and like I would have to say something, like say something to try to, make it, see if it would go away, and then I felt it again. That was before you told us about the one in the bedroom. And they're sleeping with Shane, and it sounded like somebody was walking in our bathroom, and we have a pretty big bathroom, and it's kind of, I guess the way it's arranged, it's kind of spread out because it's a big bathroom, so it's kind of like it echoes, and so it just sounded like somebody was walking in there, and like she wanted to say, maybe it was just like the vents or whatever, but no, this was literally like steps.
When that vent used to turn on, it used to be like a click, 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 and then it would go away. It hasn't happened since. Like,
that click, click.
Do you ever hear it when the AC when you turn on the AC?
No.
Like the vents have to they melt into each other?
Well, probably when we first moved in, they probably had to like warm up and everything, but no, I've never really noticed. But I know what sound you're talking about, though.
Like when the vents first turn on and everything.
So I heard footsteps, and then it was just I could just sense it. It was just so strong, and I think that happened at least a good 3 times. The first 2 times were really intense, and I am not heavily religious, and I am not one of those like. I'm not one of those who, I don't know how to explain it, but I remember both times it's just something like, certain words are strong, certain words, they're kind of like spells, they're kind of, or anthems and like mantras, and just, they vibrate and they have meaning, even if they started from something or didn't resonate from something. Some words can be just really powerful, and some phrases can be super powerful. I remember laying here and I'm like, in the name of Jesus Christ, and you leave me alone. I remember having to do that, and it's just, when I had talked to somebody about it, they were like, well, yeah, that would, whether they understood it or not, but just the resonating, the vibration of the words would be enough for it to work. And both times it actually did, I was able to go back to sleep. So that was it just seemed like little things were just kind of peaking just like here and there. So then right around like the grandma came in, it was Thanksgiving. So yeah, it had to have been, it was, I know it was between Thanksgiving and the winter solstice, because the winter solstice is very eerie, very, very strange things happens to me whenever winter solstice comes around, because it's the longest night of the year, and it's when the veil between our world and the other world is very thin. It's very cool. You know, pagans celebrate it. Creoles celebrate it. It's the 4 seasons of our of the year. It's huge. So I know it was before the winter solstice in December, and Cece and her boyfriend Wyatt were talking about that spirit, and then we're out there in the living room, and then Cece's like, well, yeah, you got one in your room, and I'm all like, bullshit, like, and then I just thought they were just bullshit, just fucking with me, trying to scare me, when she said there was one in my room.
They actually were just bullshitting you, but that happened. We were like, yeah, there's something in your bedroom, don't you see it? And I'm like, and then I look over there, and I'm like, okay, maybe not, nope.
So, because I kept feeling, because I remember just feeling like something, like just wanting to get my attention, but it was like a kind of like when you're a little kid and you're fucking over doing shit you're not supposed to, and your parents give you that stare and they stare at you for a long time, like that Michael Jackson look. It was kind of like that. It felt like that, and it was just like just piercing at me, and I'm just like, shit. I was like, I can't sleep in the room. I'm just gonna stay up. I mean, I would literally fall asleep at my desk because I would have to wait for Shane to get home before I can go in the room. And so when they said, there was a second one, but the first one they talked about was always in the bathroom. And as he said, she'd always see it like just kind of peeking around the corner. And, and I was just thought they were just bullshitting. But then Cassie was here staying with us and for the holidays. And it was so weird because, when I was talking to her about it, and then I asked her, what happened was I walked down the hallway. And as I was walking down the hallway, and I was sober, I was walking down the hallway, and I just happened to glance over, and I saw like legs, like pants, like as somebody like walked past me, and it was like I saw it from probably above the knees down. It was like almost like somebody wearing khakis or almost like a nursing uniform. It wasn't quite jeans, but it was definitely like khaki type pants. And walked, and I just glanced down, and it just walked on the left side of me, and I was just like, yes, I saw that. And and I'm very I'm very in tune to a lot of things, and I sense a lot of things. I'm Cancer moon and a Cancer rising, so I've been able to channel and feel and sense things, and with reading tarot, and just kind of have that that thing. Actually, a lot of people have the thing and don't know it. A lot of them do know it, but that's not one of my things is to see. I am not a seer. I don't have enough fire in my chart, but my daughter being a Sun, Moon, and Mercury and Leo, and then a Scorpio rising, and my mom's Scorpio rising, and my Gemini daughter's a Scorpio rising, and everybody it seems like I'm around has either third or ninth house stellums. My boyfriend has a ninth house stellum, so that's fire energy, and him being, and yeah, she is, just too much fire. I always trying to find the fucking host, put this bitch out all the time.
I don't like water.
She does not like water. Shane he's a Aquarian Pisces cusp, so he's kind of, he doesn't want to like play into it. He just ignores it, and so he just doesn't want to give it any mind. But he's I wouldn't really say that he's like empathic, but he definitely has his moments. Definitely when he freaks me out and oh, Pisces. But so we got a lot going on here. We got a lot of energy going on here. I have a lot of energy. Cece has energy. Lexana, I don't even know that's not even energy. I don't even know what to call that. My mom is very my mom being Creole, people can feel that energy off of her. People can sense that energy. But I'm around a lot of fire. My Cece's got that fire in her Sun, Moon, and Mercury. Lexana's a fire moon. She's an Aries. My mom's a Sagittarius. Well, Sagittarius and Aquarius moon. My dad is an Aquarius with a Leo moon. And then Shane has, I know he's got his Saturn and his Mars and Scorpio. And his stellium, he's got like a 4-planet stellium in the 9th house. So that's a lot of fire. That's like, that's enough energy to like burn through a veil, and so I think that kind of amplified things up. But I think the moment that I gave attention to it, and the moment like that whole it knows I know type deal, it just seemed like it was it was done. You know, there was no more pretending, no more ignoring. And so when I saw that walk past me, I was just like, okay, I knew it was close to winter solstice. It was like maybe 2 nights or the night before, maybe a couple nights before. And I've had other experiences on winter solstice. And so I thought, okay, that must be it because, you know, I don't see things. And so then when I, you know, told Cass about who happens to be a Sagittarius, Aries rising in her Western, so that more fire in the house. Um, so when I told her about, you know, she ended up going to the bathroom afterwards, and I was just joking around, and I had not told her about what the kid
About Sam?
about yeah, it was named Sam. Well, we had called him Peeping Tom at first, but I hadn't told her about how the girls or how the kids had seen him like in the bathroom. I just kind of, you know, told her about what I saw and whatever, and so and I was just, you know, I asked her, I was like, "Do you see him?" She's like, "Yeah, he's in here with me," and she had said something else. I can't remember what it was, but then it just kind of thought, okay, she's, you know, she's in there just, you know, she's just bullshitting, she's just teasing, whatever. Well, then after I had reached out, I didn't know who to reach out to, but something told me to reach out to Jasmine. I don't know why, but I just did it, you know. So I told her about it, and she happened to have an aunt who is, I don't know what the right term. She says that her grandma called her a spook, but she's a fire. She's an Aries. She can see, like she could like see like, you know, as if, you know, another person just standing right in front of you. She's very very tapped in, very just, and she's amazing. She's like I don't know. I think she's the coolest shit since sliced bread, but
She looks on your parts. Remember when she used to come? She used to laugh out like the newest things since sliced bread.
Yeah, it just looks on her. She still does. My kids are disgusting. So you know, Jasmine said, you know, she had an aunt that does that, and they travel around and they help, you know, clear out stuff like that and help people with that. And so she had, you know, set me up, and we had set a date, and they came out like, I think it was like in March. So this was like a few months after like really the peak of everything, which was most of the peak of it was, a lot of it was during December. Oh god, yeah, fire month again. They came out and found out that we have one on one side of the house, which is the one that's always in the bathroom, and I used to call him Peeping Tom, and that was the one when Cassie said, "Oh, he's in here with me," like he really was in there. And the other one that I was feeling in the bedroom, who she doesn't go past the kitchen and he doesn't go past the living room, so they're kind of on opposite ends. So I have another one, and I had that feeling. I thought it was a male entity because I can sense that it was tall. You know, when it was doing the Michael Jackson stare, like the Thriller stare on me, so I just kind of just had a picture like something that was definitely a good 6'2", 6'3", maybe a little bit taller, you know, and me and Cece are pretty tall, so that's, you know, that was too much for me. I was like, okay, this big ass thing, you know, freaking me out. Well, happened to be, at first she thought, you know, she was an Amazon or something from like, you know, something like that, but it happens to be she's a German, really tall German. She says she gets her build from her father, and she's been here since before the trailer was here, and they said that if I ever wanted to, you know, if she ever needed her to go or wanted to get rid of her, I would have to get a Druid priest, but I have no intentions on, you know, getting rid of her. She's fine, you know, even though she's freaked me out a few times, like last month.
She harms you.
Oh my god, yeah, she's definitely walked up on me pretty quickly, like, you know, when you see that the shadow and the light, and she has literally scared the fucking shit out of me a couple times just in the last couple of months, and just some other little things going on, but she's on that side, and then the person on the other side is, you know, he's I actually got a picture of him. She kind of sketched him out, and he seemed to be like a real fun, easygoing type of guy, like somebody that would have been like a nurse or somebody that was like a CNA, somebody that definitely was in that type of field of helping. That's probably why I saw the khaki type pants. And
wait, did you say he was in there with your
yeah,
laws? He might have been what is it, the person who helps give birth?
Well, they have when you have a baby, they have the pediatrician in there, and then they have the OB doctor, you know, the gynecologist. So they have.
Well, no, it was like that kind of, you know.
Yeah, or maybe some of that nursing that was in the natal unit. Yeah, so which makes it even more creepier. Which when she started, you know, talk with Sam and kind of get more of a feel of what was going on, and he definitely real, I guess, fun guy. He the sketch of him kind of looks like Jesus with a little glass. It kind of looks like a little bit like Shane, but with like longer hair, wavy, little glasses, the whole goatee thing going on. And from the sounds of it, he's probably like 5'7", 5'8", not too tall. picture just seems like he just seemed like one of those dudes that would just be like in the park, just stoned and just jamming out to some, some jazzy tunes or something. That's what he reminds me of, kind of like a Woodstocky type guy. But she said that he was in there. He's always in there taking care of the baby and giving it baths and I had that June. I had lost my baby, and that's the bathroom that I actually had lost my baby in. So it was just kind of it just everything just linked together, because a lot of people, like, I've always been kind of a skeptic, and and I've always, like, even with all the stuff that I've experienced in my life, I've still kind of been kind of skeptical. But after all of that, especially just with the sensing, and then and even more stuff is coming out, but definitely not a skeptic anymore. Definitely have a whole new look at everything that has to do with anything occult or mystically linked. Um, so, so anyways, that's one of the weird shit that's been happening this past year. Because we've lived here for it's been a year. What was it, a year in May? Yeah, end of May, yeah, beginning of May. So, and all this stuff started happening about like June. So, and there's been so much more other things that happened too. But didn't really mean to go on the whole story. But I guess I just had to share. But I will be having her come back out again. Her name is Mary. So we're kind of planning for the end of the summer, because I think there's some other things going on, especially with my mom here. She's, I think she crosses over into the other veil when she does her whole checkout mode thing. But and she talks to herself a lot, and I really don't think she's talking to herself. But how Scorpios are, they're very secretive about crap. Um, so she's gonna come back out, and I would, I want to, do a little interview with her and get her on here and have her, discuss some things, and just, you guys get a sense of her vibration, because she's definitely unique in her own style, and she's just amazing. Her husband's amazing, and them coming out here, that changed my life. That changed my life on a level that was just so profound, and that just really took me even further into that rabbit hole. And that rabbit hole is that whole rabbit hole of just not so much of just spirituality, but that whole, like, the world is changing, that everything's changing. I mean, all our cool, like, planetary alignments that we've been having, and and now that people are able to express themselves a little bit more freely when it comes to occult stuff, and I'm just gonna say it, religion is dying, the church is dying. People are finally realizing that if they want to connect to God, they don't have to go to church. And also too, I had said that the church is dying, and people are leaving the church to actually have that connection, and to find their own beliefs, and not be so ignorant in it, and it's definitely coming into that new time period, because we're coming into the age of Aquarius, and it's showing, it's all over, and all the shit that's been going on, and our new president, and just all the stuff that I see on YouTube. It's like, I don't know, it's just it's kind of nice to know that we're able to be a little bit more free into ourselves, and being able to express ourselves, and being able to be as weird or stupid or assholey, or just however we want to be, and to be able to share it with others, and and get to be trolls, or to get trolled, and it's just it's a lot better. It's a lot better than what it used to be. We're not so chained down behind just people's morals and values, and strictness of how, like, we should be and how we shouldn't be, and everything. So that's the starting of, I guess that's part one of my intro. My part two of my intro, I'm gonna go a little crazy retard wicked on some astrology stuff, because that's my life, that's my world. It's been my love for a very long time, and especially this last year of me getting just really deep into it. I mean, I've learned so much and taught myself so much. I'm definitely gonna have to share, and getting more into detail. So thank you guys for sharing some time with me, and listening to my story, and how got started into this. And I will be broadcasting a little bit more. I've just been a little bit busy doing a lot of charts, and organizing, and taking care of, well, I've been making Cece take care of mom now, and my dad's in the hospital, and so it's just been a lot going on. But I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot more broadcasting, and going through my other stuff that I've recorded, and just sharing a lot more. And we will be doing an episode 2 to the sexual revolution. definitely going to be doing more of those episodes, and they'll be categorized out. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. I will talk about some spiritual stuff, but it's going to be not religious type spiritual stuff. Because to me, spirituality is just a lot of it's just of yourself and who you are, and being able to connect to your higher self and to that higher self-awareness, and just learning how to dig deep into not only your soul but your heart, and just resonating on that level of who you are. So anyways, I'm going to end here. You guys have a lovely night, and I will be back soon. And again, I am Aquarian Essence. Also like to go by Electrical Essence. On my YouTube channel, I will be Aquarian Essence. I will be talking to you about my little nicknames and my different pen names I use for writing. They're my alter egos. So I don't know. It's just a healthy way of having multiple personalities. And again, tonight hosting with me is Triple C. Sometimes I like to call her Big Pimpin'. Just kind of depends on the mood. Oh. All right. So you guys have a good night.